Okay, Kira, state your name, race, and class.
My name is Leifial, and I'm a tiefling druid.
Okay, so you've been running a lot lately. You've been trying to stay to the forest as much as you can. That's where you feel the most home. But ever since you've been having visions, dreams, you believe they're from the goddess. Somebody needs your help. Somebody in the city.
I think to myself.
You have been having flashbacks of why you left to begin with. You have one of those such ones about right now. You're back to 14 years old with your father and mother. They're trying to instill in you the virtues, they tell you, of serving Xios. You just don't see it. You have no desire to do so. You just want to spend your time in the nature. They noticed you have an aptitude for magic, so they wanted you to possibly become a paladin, maybe even work your way as a cleric. But you knew this just was not for you. So every time they tried to broach the subject, you would do your best to change it to something else entirely. You snap back to the present. You are getting close to the capital, Xiotar. You can see off in the distance the walls surrounding the city. It does not bring back any pleasant memories. You have another flashback. This time it's a fight. They've got much more insistent this time that you go to the temple, that you train to become a holy warrior, they tell you. Help establish order. As you remember they're arguing, you shout back.
I don't want to be a cleric. I just want to hang out and do nature stuff.
Comebacks were not always your strong suit, you think to yourself. You snap back to the present. You're right outside the walls. How do you plan on getting into the city?
Pretend I'm like a normal tiefling.
Okay. You do know that as a tiefling, you have a place of privilege pretty much anywhere you go. So you pick a gate. Do you have a preference on which gate, or you just pick the one that's closest?
The one with, I'm going to roll perception to see if I...
Okay, roll a history.
6.
Okay, you remember there are 6 gates. One representative of each of the important tiefling families in the city. So the one nearest you is not representative of your family, so you would probably be safe going through that one.
I go through that. And I hope that it didn't...
Okay, give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, good thing I had advantage. 23.
Okay, you are easily able to walk right through the gate. You hold your posture just as you were trained to from a child. You know that the guards are not going to stop you. The guards, who are probably paladins more than likely, judging by their armor and the crest upon it, don't even bat an eye as you walk right through. You're now in the city. You can remember from the visions that a fellow druid needs your help. He's on a mission. The visions did not specify what the mission was, but it did say that he was completely unfamiliar with the area and would quite possibly be lost.
Since I know them?
Yes, you grew up in the capital city of Xiotar.
Okay, so since I know the city, I'm going to look in all the alleyways that people usually get lost if they're new.
Okay, so as you walk around the city, I want you to give me, we'll do 5 investigation rolls.
First one is a 12.
Okay, you check a couple alleys, you don't see anything that would give you any clues as to his location.
20 unnatural.
Okay, you find something that looks like it might be promising. It is a little bit of greenage, which is not common for the city, and it is not native to the city either, the plants. And you, as you well know, that the city is almost under constant dreary skies, almost no sunlight. It's almost always cloudy and looks like it could rain at any time, although most of the time it doesn't. So you know, not a lot of vegetation and greenery grow in this city.
I'm gonna see if there's like a trail where the green is like following something.
Okay, so as you find a little bit of this, it looks like it might have been stuck on the bottom of someone's boot, perhaps. So you follow that direction. Give me another investigation roll.
That's good.
Okay, you walk a little bit farther, you find a little bit of mud with some twigs in it. You think it's probably the same person.
I keep following.
Okay, you have to stop because you seem to have lost the trail. You look around, you can't find any more signs. Why don't you give me another investigation? Okay, not only have you lost the trail, but you seem to have wandered a couple of back alleys. You weren't paying attention to where you're going because you were just looking for signs of vegetation. You're not quite sure where you are.
I go back towards the main street to see if I can find. But I do it sneakily.
Okay.
You're
You're familiar enough with how the city is laid out to make your way back to where you started.
So I'm actually.
And you realize that you were in the back alleys of the market district, but you were edging your way towards the false druidic monastery, as you like to refer to it, because even though they call themselves druids, they prefer the cycle of winter to the cycle of life. They're almost the polar opposite of what you would consider a druid anyways.
I asked like a peasant if
They will notice you and notice your stature. They will, bow their head, kind of not looking you in the eye, and they say, "Well, ma'am, the druids of Terra come through this area quite frequently."
a traveling.
I couldn't say for sure, madam.
I go towards the temple.
Okay, as you head towards the temple, you realize you're going to definitely want to look around before you go in, because it is very likely you could be recognized by someone who knows you or knows your family.
So I'm gonna actually try to stay out of sight.
Okay,
Or
so
blend in
give
with
me
the
a
crowd.
give me a stealth check to see how well you blend in with the crowds.
3.
Being a tiefling, it is very difficult to blend into crowds. People tend to make way part so that you can go through, which in this case is actually more of an annoyance than anything else.
I'm gonna check around after self.
Okay, as you look around this temple, you find what looks to be a druid crouching in an alleyway, not at all stealthily, although from the looks of it, he probably thinks he's quite stealthy.
I walk up to him, not even trying to hide that I see him. What are you doing?
Okay,
I don't know. What are you doing?
Well, I was looking for a druid. Seems to have difficulties finding.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
as you're speaking to her, you're well aware of the fact that tieflings are almost always revered servants of Xaios. So you think to yourself that you might not want to admit to being a druid of Aurea.
Rango. I mean, does it matter?
Are you traveling through?
Depends on who's asking.
Not using my last.
I am Loom.
And are you?
Aren't we all? Yes, I am.
I know you're not a normal druid. I know you don't follow Xaios.
Now what gives that away?
I'm not here to hurt you.
Alright then.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Oh God, that's an 8.
Okay, give me an insight.
19.
Okay. You can tell she's trying to persuade you pretty heavily. Well, she seems sincere, from as well as you can tell.
Now, you just kind of walk up to me and, randomly,
You realize that eventually you're not
Eventually.
exactly hiding.
and I also pretty much don't care.
You were hiding behind a trash can that was roughly equal to the same size as you if you're squatting, but you were clearly not squatting enough, so like half your head was sticking out and like maybe a shoulder or the side. You were not stealthy.
Well, I mean, what it is.
I think me and you should get out of this.
Probably.
Now, you know that this city was where you were transported to, so the item your brother took, which you informed was a scythe. You're not sure what's so special about it, but you were told that you would be able to tell that it was special when you found it.
I have my...
Reasons should wait. You're about to get killed. If they even get out.
Alright.
Now, you would not know, but you would know that worshipping any other deity but Xaios and Terra, because she chooses to serve under Xaios, is strictly forbidden by the government.
I suppose I don't get much of a choice, but I will have to return. I'm sure of that.
Probably try to be.
Probably.
You are wearing your livery with the symbol of your druidic order and everything. You're not blended in at all because from where you come from, everyone wears it. They don't have to hide it. It did not occur to you.
Perception to see if I see it.
You don't need to roll. He's
It's
got
in plain
a
sight.
sash on with the symbol right there.
Before we go, you should probably take that off. It's forbidden worship in Xaios. And if they do catch you, and they will, that will most likely get you.
Oh, how unfortunate. Things will definitely...
Okay. For reference, this is the holy symbol for Xaios. Mark which one was which.
Whoops.
We'll pick this one. This is the holy symbol for Terra, the other circle. And then this is the symbol you were...
My other one.
Yes,
That's
quite a bit different. Things to think about.
things to take off.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I will have to
Not get caught.
I haven't exactly been here very long.
You've been here less than a day.
Even still, surely you should probably leave, and I can't leave with you.
I guess I will have to. So I guess I'll leave the city. No.
Have you taken off your sash?
Yeah.
And let him bypass me, because I know that if he goes, I try to make back out.
Okay, you have no trouble. Same guards. They just, nod in reverence, let you walk right through. I need you to make a stealth check for me to try to blend in with the crowds. I'm assuming you took off your holy symbol and stuffed it in your bag.
Yep. Oh, God. 12.
Okay, it's not great. You probably draw looks here and there, but you don't think you're being conspicuous enough that you would draw the attention of the authorities. And you make your way to the gate that you saw her leave out of. I mean, she said not to go with her, but she didn't say don't follow her.
That actually sounds like something I would do.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so as you get to the gate, the guards stop you and say, state your business.
I'm leaving the city?
No, really. State your business.
I'm leaving the city.
As I'm leaving the city, I look back.
Yeah, you've probably scurried off into a place where you can watch the gate without being spotted, and yeah, you can see that he's been stopped.
Okay, I hop down from my post, and I start walking towards him, and I address the guard. What do you think you're...
Snaps to attention. Our job, ma'am.
This man is with me.
Oh, I had no idea, ma'am. I'm deeply, deeply sorry.
As you should be. Back to your...
They both step aside, back at attention, on either side of the gate.
I turn, and eyeballing him like, follow me, and I walk towards the forest.
Okay. As you guys walk towards the forest, you hear a loud crash in the distance.
Wait, in the
from inside the city.
I turn around, and I'm like, what the heck was that?
You can't hear anything, but after this crash, you hear another one.
Do I hear screaming?
And then you hear footsteps, and you hear cursing in Infernal.
Saraputa, it's a infernal beast! Samuratimo! Asen, Tarande!
And it's gradually getting quieter as it seems to be going deeper into the city.
I turn around and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, okay, that's not normal.
No, it's not normal. Somebody's very angry.
Considering the fact that they just got bombarded,
it's a good enough distraction.
But I do want to know what the heck that was.
You and me both.
Can we go back in?
You make your way back to the gate. The guards do not even flinch.
Good. I walk towards where I think the noise came from at first.
Okay, so you can see large boot-shaped indents into the cobblestone.
I start walking.
Okay, this is not difficult to follow because there are more footprints in the cobblestone.
I'm like,
Something large was running, leaving indents in the ground.
I start like fast walking, not enough to like draw enough where it's obvious rushing, but faster.
Okay, we're gonna leave you right there. Okay, Logan, state your name, race, and class.
Boom, tree brew, tree brew.
Okay.
Boom, tree brew, and I'm a human druid.
Okay, so you wake up this morning, and it is the day you've been waiting for. It's the day of your druidic trials. That if you pass, you will finally become a full-fledged member of the druid circle. Okay, so how do you prepare?
I just do my regular morning. I just do my regular morning ritual, which is brew some tea from the south.
Okay, you brew your tea, you sit down, and you drink it, and enjoy yourself on this peaceful morning. And the head druid comes in. There we go. And you know him as Beatrice Malaman. And he is a wood elf, and you've known him your entire life. He leads the circle here, and he approaches your small residence, and you can see him through the window as he approaches, and he knocks lightly on the door.
Yes, come in.
He comes in, and he says, "Are you ready for the ritual?"
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. So he ushers you to follow him, and you go out to the main courtyard of your village, and there is a circle in the main courtyard made of stones, and he gestures for you to stand in the middle, and then while you do, him and the other elders will all stand around the circle. And he will approach you, and he hands you a vial, and then he steps back into place. And as you know, you're supposed to drink this, and the ritual will begin.
I do.
Okay, you feel your consciousness start to flutter, and then you feel it leave you as your body hits the floor. Next thing you are aware of, you are out in this amazing wilderness. You don't think you've ever seen anything quite like it before. Why don't you give me a history check?
8.
Okay, you're not sure where you are.
I just pick a direction. So long.
Okay, why don't you give me a survival check?
Natural.
Okay, you're able to get your bearings, and you figure out which direction is north. Which direction do you want to go?
I go north.
Okay. As you begin heading down this direction, you notice there's all kinds of animals, a lot of which are not native to your island.
Can I do a check to identify them?
Yeah, give me a nature check.
Wow. Another natural 20.
Okay, these are beasts that are native to the Feywild.
Certainly odd.
Okay. Do you choose to interact with these animals in any way?
I try to.
Okay, give me a animal handling check then.
19 plus, so 23.
Right. You were able to coax a couple of a collection of animals to just, stay still long enough for you to get near them. Do you try to touch them or anything like that?
Yes, I try and.
Okay. They will let you get close, but they will not let you touch them.
So I just kind of observe them for a minute.
Okay. And they just are going about their normal thing. They do what they do. Some of them are eating. Some of them are probably just taking a nap. Typical animal stuff.
I don't see much else there.
Okay, so one thing you can remember is that no two druids have the same trial. So they can't tell you ahead of time what the objective of your trial is. You just know that you will drink the vial full of liquid, and the trial will commence. So part of the trial is to figure out what you are actually supposed to do for the trial.
I roll perception to see if there's anything other besides the animal.
All right.
12.
Okay. As you're looking around, you see it just seems to be forest, but as you squint a little bit more, you can see maybe a clearing up ahead.
I decided to go down to the clearing.
Okay. As you make your way into the clearing, you notice another circle made of stones out in the clearing.
I decided to go into the middle of them.
Okay. As you stand in the middle, a figure seems to materialize. Why don't you roll for initiative?
20.
Okay.
1, 2.
Let's see, what's his initiative roll? Okay, you go first. It is a being that is almost translucent. So, just give me a history check to see if you know what this is.
Do I have my weapon?
You have a staff on you.
What'd you say, history?
Yeah.
It is a 22.
Okay. You are aware that this creature is a specter. It is a medium undead and chaotic evil. So it is your go. So
what are the stats on the staff?
it is. Yeah, look it up. And
It's a quarter staff?
yeah, just a quarterstaff.
It's a 1d6 bludgeoning.
Okay.
Or 1d8 versatile.
All right. And that just means if you choose to use two-handed, then it's a D8
Which,
instead
since
of
I
D6.
don't have anything else to hold, that's what I'm going to be using.
All right.
So I'm going to attack it.
Okay.
And that's a dex, right?
It is Dex, yes.
So
You should be proficient with
Yes,
Dex.
I am. So I gave a proficiency. So I got 6.
Okay. 6 to hit.
Oh no, I'm doing 15.
15 hit. That does hit. So roll damage.
5.
5 damage. All right. It is now his turn.
D7.
Okay, 7. All right. Does an 11 hit your armor class? Okay. So he rakes his claws towards you, and he misses. It is your go again.
I'm going to try and swing again.
Okay.
I'm so glad that wasn't any lower, because that is a 4.
4. Okay. You swing your staff, and it just kind of faints backwards, and you just whiff right in front of it. He's going to attack you again. Does a 23 hit your armor class?
Of course.
Okay. That is 10 necrotic damage. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
13.
Okay, you succeed, so you do not take any other effects. It is now your go.
I'm gonna swing again with my staff.
Okay.
That is 11.
11. You hit.
Okay, yeah. That's okay. That is an 8.
Okay. You swing hard, and it hits this thing upside the head, and it dissipates. And as it dissipates, you can feel that feeling you felt before when you drank the vial, and you slowly begin to lose consciousness and crumple to the ground. When you awaken back up, this time you are in a tundra.
I decide. Is it? Can I see a sun or anything?
Yeah, you can see the sun over the horizon.
I decide to head in the way of the sun is.
Okay, you begin to trudge through the snow. You don't see much of anything around you except for snow all over the place. And you just crunch through the snow, slowly making your way. Some drifts are deeper than others. And as you make your way through here, you find another circle of stones.
I decided to go in the middle of those as well.
Okay, let's see. As you do so, another creature appears. This one's similar to the other, but not quite the same. Why don't you roll me a history check to see if you know which creature this is?
Unnatural 20.
Okay, you realize this is a wraith.
Yay. I decided I want to try and speak to it.
Okay, first off, I need you to roll initiative for me.
Okay. That is terrible. 5.
Okay, let's see what you get. Just a second. Okay, he goes first. Alright, let's see what he's gonna do. He's going to try to hit you with his claws. Does a 14 hit your armor class?
Yes.
Okay. I should mention that your hit points are back to full.
Right.
So he rakes his claws across your chest, and he does 10 necrotic damage.
That will knock me in.
Okay. You fall unconscious. As you wake back up, this time you are in a desert. Same as before, your hit points have been reset.
I decided to head. I'm guessing that there's also a sun.
There is still sun.
I decided to head towards it.
Okay, you head towards the sun. You travel through the sand. The wind begins to pick up, blowing quite heavily. You feel it might be a good idea to try to cover your face at this point.
Which I do.
Okay.
To extent.
And at this point, the wind is blowing so heavily that you need to just stop and hunker in place.
All right.
Once the wind dies down, you brush yourself off, kind of clear the sand away from you. You notice there is another circle made of stones.
Naturally, I feel inclined to just go into the middle of them.
Okay. A creature materializes in front of you.
I'm going to go ahead and roll for history, I'm guessing.
Yes.
24.
Okay, you realize this is a white.
Oh.
Alright, so roll for initiative.
Yep, 12.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, I'm going to swing at it this time. Wow, that's 1. That's a natural 1.
Alrighty then. Let's see how this turns out. Okay, your weapon becomes lodged in a non-damaged part of the enemy or nearby object. So, as you swing, you royally screw this up, and you end up kind of tripping forward and plunging your stick directly down into the sand, and you cannot remove it.
So I kind of let go of it then.
Okay, it's now its turn. Does a 13 hit your armor class?
Matches.
Okay, so you're going to take 2 hits. Okay, so that's 12 damage.
Again, fall unconscious.
Okay, this time you wake up, you are on a beach. There is the ocean directly in front of you.
So I guess I turn around then, and
Okay, you turn around and you realize there's more beach and then ocean. You are probably on an island of some sort.
so I decided to just walk straight into the ocean.
Okay, you walk into the ocean, and as you're walking, you keep walking, keep walking. Now you're fully submerged. You hold your breath for as long as you can. When you finally cannot hold it any longer and gasp in, you realize you can breathe just like if it were air.
I just keep going.
Okay. Eventually, you wander around and you find another circle made of stones.
I continuously go into these circles and hopefully work. I go into the circle.
Okay. A creature materializes in front of you. What do you do?
I try and speak to it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll initiative first.
That was 9.
Okay, it goes first. Let's see. I take it a 9 does not hit your armor class.
No.
Alright. I take it a 21 does.
Yes.
Alright, it's gonna rake its claws across your chest. That is 8 points of slashing damage.
Barely. I'm barely awake.
Okay, it's now your turn.
So I'm going to cast Cure Wound on
Okay.
myself. 1d2. So 8. That heals me.
Okay, it is going to attack you again. This time, it's going to attempt to bite you. Does a 15 hit your armor class?
Yes.
Okay, it gets a hold of you and it sinks its fangs into your neck. You are going to take 6 points of piercing damage plus 7 points of necrotic damage.
So I fall unconscious.
Okay, as you wake up, you're now in an empty field. You cannot see anything around you except for just grass.
So I just kind of wander through the grass until something.
Okay. Eventually, you wander around and you find, lo and behold, a circle made of stones.
So I just decide to keep walking.
Okay, you keep walking. And what do you find but a circle made of stones?
I just go into it.
Okay, a creature appears before you. This creature is monstrous and dragon-like, but it has 6 heads.
I'm a roll for history.
Okay,
Oh god, natural 1.
you have no clue what this creature is.
So it's kind of, I just want to swing at it then.
Roll for initiative.
14.
Okay, let's see what he gets. Okay, you go first.
So I swing at it.
Okay.
That is 10.
You thunk your stick right up against his leg. All the heads snap in your direction. He's going to take his turn.
This sounded better in my head.
Little fun fact here. Hydras can make as many bite attacks as they have heads in one turn. He has 6 heads. Let's see. Okay, that's plus 8.
We all knew what it was.
Does a 27 hit your armor class?
Of course.
Does an 11 hit your armor class?
No.
Does a 16 hit your armor class?
Yes.
Does a 27 hit your armor
Yes.
class? Does a 14 hit your armor class?
Yes.
14 hits your armor class.
Yeah.
And a 20 hits your armor class.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. 5 out of 6 hits.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, that is 50 damage.
I mean, there's nothing left of me, too.
Okay, you wake up. You're back where you started. The druid's circling around you, and Beatrice says, "Well done. The test was of your bravery. You fought insurmountable odds, even when you surely knew you had no chance of winning." He said, "There is one final part of this challenge." And he shrugs off his outer cloak and pulls out his staff and says, "Now, you have to fight me."
I'm guessing I have a staff on me.
Yeah, you have your regular equipment.
Oh, okay. So I have a skim. I have good shit.
Okay, roll for initiative.
Okay, let's see what I get this time. Hey, look, 19. Finally, something.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. So, I'm gonna swing in. Oh, that's actually my duff back. Alright. So, right. I roll d6. Okay, so that's 6 damage.
Okay, he seems to take it in stride. Now he goes. He is going to cast a spell because he's a druid. So you feel the ground begin to kind of quaver underneath your feet as it turns to quicksand. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Fun. Cool. Okay, 18.
Okay, let's see what his spell save is. Unfortunately, That's not enough. You try to get away, but you've already started sinking, and by struggling, you only made yourself sink faster. You are now up to your shins in quicksand. It is now your turn.
So, okay, I'm going to. Okay, that's not a. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna try and cast Frostbite on him.
Okay.
Wow.
Is it a saving throw, or do you roll to hit?
It is a Constitution saving throw of 12.
Up to 12? Okay. Alright, he makes the save.
Okay.
Does anything happen?
No, it doesn't say.
Okay. So it's now his turn. He's going to cast another spell. Let's see, which one does he want to use? Okay. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as he claps his hands together and a thunder wave reaches out towards you. DC 19.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Let's see. You take 10 damage, and it is unable to knock you prone because you are fast and.
It doesn't matter. It knocks me unconscious.
Okay, and just as you're fading out of consciousness, you think to yourself, this is really starting to become a pattern here. As you regain your consciousness, you are sitting in the circle, you kind of laying in the circle, and you sit back up, and Beatrice offers you his hand to help you stand up.
I take it.
Okay, he stands you back up, he claps a hand on your shoulder, and he says, you have fought well. The key to passing this challenge was not to win, but to not back down in the face of a stronger opponent.
I certainly knew I wasn't gonna win.
Kinda looks at you, decides not to say anything, and continues. He says, walk with me, my boy.
Very well.
Okay, as you guys walk around the outskirts of the town, kind of not particularly going any direction, he tells you, I know you're aware of what your brother did.
Not right. I know.
He says, no, it was not. But I believe it is right to give you a chance to rectify your brother's wrong.
Thank you.
He says, if you choose to accept this opportunity, you will be leaving for the mainland tomorrow.
I will take. It has been a while since anyone's really ventured out there.
He says, indeed, not since it all went down.
What?
He just looks at you and says, surely you jest.
Only slightly.
He says, you know to what I'm referring. The incident with the gods.
Oh, that.
So what else could I be talking about?
I don't know.
Kind of chuckles lightly to himself. And at this point, he'll just kind of walk and talk, and, it'll just be, at this point, just kind of chatter. It's nothing of real importance anymore. Okay, and you awake the next morning. You have packed up your belongings, everything that you need to take with you, and as he told you yesterday, to meet back into the center of town, and the druids all circle up around the center before, like they were before, I should say. And they all grasp hands, and they say some sort of chant you recognize to be some ritual, and a portal opens up in the middle of them, and Beatrice gestures for you to step through.
I decide to follow his motions and say farewell, thank him for the opportunity.
Okay, as you step through, you are magically transported to a massive city. This thing, you've never seen something so big. So many people, so many buildings. You come from a very small village up in the mountains, away from any civilization. This is a complete shock to you, and that's where we're going to end it for now. You're out tending your fields like any other day. Why don't you give me your name, race, and class?
My name is Toah Draxay. I'm an Aarakocra monk.
Okay, you're tending your fields, and you see someone walking up in the distance.
Roll and see who it is.
Okay.
15 plus my perception, which is 4, so 19.
Okay, it is your clan leader.
So then I take the instrument. I'm assuming I'm using a hoe.
Yes.
So I pulled it up almost like a halberd, but just like to the side, and I kind of give him a bow.
He returns the bow.
What do I owe the pleasure of you entering my fields, Elder?
He says, I came to speak to you.
Should we speak out in such weather? There's a storm coming.
Says, we can take this inside if you prefer.
Fields have been tended to enough today. Inside we go. And I take him towards my building.
Okay. He will follow you to your hut, and once you guys get inside, he says, as you know, we no longer fly because of the imbalance. It is not safe.
Shame. I feel myself, my instincts wanting to fly every day, but we can't.
He says, it is. But hopefully someone can do something about it.
And at that time, I turn to the elder and I just am silent for a second and I speak up and I say, Elder, I was thinking, we haven't sent anyone to do anything about the imbalance. I was going to ask for a volunteer journey. I want to be the one. We haven't done anything about the imbalance, but we can't sit here and do nothing. For the evil, there must be good.
He says, this is true. For this reason, I have spoken to the other elders, and they have decided that it is necessary that someone journeys. I chose to nominate you, and all of the other elders have also nominated someone, and we will choose out of the nominees who will be the one to go to the mainland.
How will the decision be made? A drawing?
He says, it will be a contest, a championship, a test of wit and prowess.
Thinks on it for a second, and thinks back to all the times he's been out in the field alone practicing his own martial arts. Says, I thank you for your nomination. I will promise to do my best to win.
Says, I knew I could count on you. The contest begins at sunrise in 2 days.
Up bright and early.
I knew I could count on you. And at that, he takes his leave and exits your hut. Is there anything you would like to do in the meantime to prepare for the contest?
Well, for the first day, he will practice with puzzles, and for the second day, he will practice martial arts to prepare himself, because he heard wit and I think, what was the other one?
Prowess.
Prowess. So he's going to practice everything he thinks he needs to get ready for it.
Okay. The day arrives for the contest. There is 5 of you in total that have been nominated, and they're probably people you recognize from around town. You may or may not know them all by name. So, the first challenge, there is a large tower comprised, of rectangular wooden blocks. And this tower is massive, I would say, about a story tall, and it is 10 by 10 square feet, that is. Okay. And the challenge here is a combination of prowess and wit. You will have to remove blocks from the tower without toppling said tower. Okay. So I want you to give me an initiative roll.
Wow, that's really good.
Okay, what's your dex, by the way?
I think it's +5. But it is. It's a 20, so I get +5, so I get 25 initiative.
All right, you go first.
Turns out being an Aarakocra is very good for being a monk.
All right, so you have been giving the instructions. They do not tell you how to remove the blocks, only that they must be done without toppling the tower. Okay. So the how is up to you.
Okay, so how tall? You said it was 10 by 10, so it's like almost like a 10 by 10 Jenga thing, but you said it was like a building tall?
Yes.
Okay.
And each block, it's 10 foot long, and then, width-wise, it's not going to be near that. But
wait, so it's a building size, but the blocks themselves are like wooden 2x4s.
Not quite 2x4s. I would say, well, it's 10 feet long, and then.
Well, I mean, obviously it's not 2x4 just dimensions,
right.
But like it's like a 4 foot wide and tall, and then like 10 feet long.
Yes, and it's I want to say about 6x6s.
Okay, so 6 by 6 by 10.
Yes.
Okay, that's so. I'm gonna try and pick one near the middle where it's the most stable. I'm gonna feel up and I'm gonna poke a few of them, and then when I find the one I feel is comfortable, just palm strike to push it out the other side.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Alright, so how do you want me to do this? Because I know later on you said to stack unarmed and talons, but this is not technically.
Yeah, you're not using your talents for this, so it'd just be your unarmed.
23.
Okay, that is certainly enough. And as you palm strike this board, it shoots out of the pile, leaving the rest of the tower alone. Okay. What is your plus to hit?
For my unarmed?
Yeah.
5.
All right. Just a second here. Okay. Another one strikes at a block, but he doesn't have enough force, and it only comes out about a foot. Okay. So another one is going to attempt to strike a different location. The same thing, it only comes out about a foot. Okay. The third one, he strikes, and just as you did, the board shoots out the end. And he chose one off the side rather than in the middle. So from your orientation, it would be several layers above yours, and then from the left side. Okay, then the last one goes, and he is unable to get one to completely remove. It only comes out about a foot. It is back to you.
Okay, so then because the man tried to, or the other Eric Worker tried to counter the balance, I'm going to go down the other side. I'm going to choose underneath my initial strike to the right.
Okay.
Oh no, that's 7.
Okay, you palm strike this board, and the tower wobbles just ever so slightly, and then stops. Okay, another one goes. Okay, another one palm strikes in the same location you did, thinking that he could do it better than you. The tower wobbles even harder.
Oh no, I'm not touching that spot.
Okay, then another one goes. He goes for one of the boards he went for before the one that only went out a foot. And it goes out another foot, still not coming out all the way. So then another one goes. Okay, another one goes. And that one that was wobbling, that both of you two hit, he gets this glint in his eye. Palm slams it, shoots out. The tower doesn't even flinch. And the last one goes. He hits a board. And same as you, different location. Kind of just moves ever so slightly. It is now back to you.
Okay, so I'm going to use a perception to try and see, of the other people who hit one and it didn't come out, see which one wobbled the tower the least.
Okay.
Like, because obviously none of them came out, but for every strike you hit that it doesn't fly out, the tower leaned a little bit. I want to see which one leaned the least.
Okay.
That's a 15 plus 4, 19.
Okay. You find one that is just above the middle, off to the right side.
Alright, so I'm gonna take their tactic of hitting one that's already loose and try and take that one out.
Okay.
Because it wobbled the least, I assume it will be the most structurally sound.
All right.
Oh dear. 9.
9. Okay. You hit this board. The tower does not shake, but it does not budge. All right. Another one's gonna go. All right. This one sees what you do. He goes up to this, hits the same one you did, and it flies out.
I like this.
And you notice when he does this, his plumage kind of goes up a bit. He's getting cocky. Okay, another one goes to one of the other boards that's sticking out about a foot. Palm strikes it. Same thing. It goes flying out. He doesn't seem as cocky as the other one, but he does seem quite self-assured after this. And the last one goes, and he picks another board, palm strikes it, and it flies out no issue as well.
That's the plan. So I'm going to go through, and I'm going to be a little more cautious this time. I'm going to try and poke them out and see which one's structurally sound. I'm going to purposely find one that's very, every time I touch it, I feel like something might fall over. And I'm going to try and pretend like I can't hit it through. Like, I'm going to try and put my force into the shape, but I can't push it out the other side. So that way that man after me will try and come and take my spot.
All right. So give me a investigation roll.
Investigation, 15.
Okay. So you find this one, and you go what looks like with force, and then stop just short of it. And lo and behold, tower doesn't budge. So the one that was getting cocky before goes to hit the one that you hit.
Oh, poor soul.
The tower crumbles violently, sending boards everywhere. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw to not get clobbered.
By him or
the boards?
Oh, okay. Turns out I'm really good at these. 19.
All right. You are able to dodge swiftly out of the way of the falling timber. The other 4 are just a tad slow.
Oh, no.
So one takes one to the foot, another gets hit in the arm, one takes a blow to the shoulder, and another one gets smacked across the head. It happened to be the one that was getting cocky too, because he was so close to the tower. As he crumbles to the ground, not moving.
Oh no, oh no.
Okay, you are out of initiative.
I'm gonna go check on him.
Right, he is breathing, so you assume he's just unconscious.
So I'm gonna pick him up and take him to someone who can do something.
Okay, so you pick him up and you take him to the local healer, and he says that he will be able to take it from there.
And I go back to see if everyone else is okay, or what the cleanup's happening, or just the aftermath.
Okay, you go back and there's a handful of people cleaning it up in there, And you meet back up with the elder that sponsored you, and he says, "Well done. I do believe we have our champion."
It was not only thanks to my skill, but the lack of humility in my opponents.
Says, "Indeed. Your superior tactics played out in the end."
So you noticed?
"I did." Says, "We will give you a week to get your affairs in order, get your property attended to by who you wish to take care of it while you are gone, and then you are to set out for the mainland."
I look at all the elders, and I bow. I say, thank you for this opportunity.
They all give a slight bow as well and said, "Please, do us proud."
I will do you more than proud. For when I return, we won't be stuck to the ground, but flying, as we should be.
And they all give you a deeper bow at this.
And then when everything's settled, I'm off to my abode.
Okay, so during this intermediate time, you are able to get your affairs in order.
One thing I specifically want to do, I'm sorry to interrupt, one thing I specifically want to do, the person who has to take care of my responsibilities when I'm gone, I specifically want to go up and ask the person, the one that was injured, the one that got injured for being cocky.
That will work quite well.
I go up and ask him, and I tell him this will teach him humility, which will get him further in life than his cockiness. A level head does better than a strong arm.
Him not being in a position to refuse kind of has to accept your request to tend your property.
You better not mess it up.
Okay. So after the week has passed, you've gotten everything in order, you head towards the mainland. This is the first time in a long time that you've flown. You don't have to hide it this time.
It's wonderful.
You're able to stretch your wings and take to the sky. Okay. As you're flying over the mainland, you cross over what appears to be a beach and some kind of man-made structure just off the coast. Seems to be wooden. You would think some sort of dock, perhaps. And as you fly over this beachside town, you notice it's a fairly decent size. This town might be bigger than your entire island.
Or more secluded than I thought we would.
So, several more days pass as you continue to fly. You're not sure what you're looking for, but you keep looking. You pass over several more towns. Nothing of consequence catches your eye. But as you approach a large walled city, you think, this must be the epicenter. If it has walls, then there must be protecting something. This should be where you start your search. And that is where we're going to end yours. Okay, Kira, state your name, race, and... Okay, state your name, race, and class.
Name the most of the party will know me by is Forgotten. Tiefling, and I'm a warlock.
Okay, we begin in your family's residence. Your father is having a conversation with your older brother, and you walk up on them, and from a distance, it does not sound like it's going very well.
Forgotten, I will walk up slowly. Back straight, proper, like my father taught me, because if he sees me slouching, he'll get upset. But I will do it very cautious, but also proud at the same time. Like I'm...
Okay, and you're still a bit away, so why don't you give me a perception check to see if you can hear what they're saying.
Not a problem. 16 in total.
Okay, they're clearly arguing. By the sounds of it, your father wants your brother to do something, and he does not want to.
Sounds common for my father.
Okay, do you still continue to walk towards them?
What room are we
in? This would be the dining hall.
Yeah, I'll still walk up purposely to him because it's probably about time for dinner now.
Pretty close.
All right, so I'll walk up to him because, well, just don't want to ignore my father. Don't want to get him angered in any way. Not really in the mood to deal with that.
Okay, your father and your brother both hear you approaching, and they both look over in your direction, and your brother says, "Can we deal with this later?" And your father says, "Fine, but do not try to get out of this."
Brother, how are you guys this evening?
They both tell you that they are doing well.
Is everything okay? Family business going okay? Nothing wrong on the manor? You two seem to be arguing.
Your father says, "It's not your concern. This is purely between us two."
You'll see Forgotten sit there and like slink back a little bit because he's used to this. It still affects him to be scorned by his father. But he just sits there and nods and he's like, "Yes, father."
So Your father will take his seat at the head of the table. And where do you choose to sit?
I'll choose to sit by my sister. She see how her studies have been going.
Okay. So once you sit down, what do you say to her?
How you doing, little one? Studies going okay?
She says, "They're doing fine, and don't call me that."
No matter how big you get, you're still littler than me. And you're always going to be my little sister. You know that.
She makes a face at you.
I make one back. Just playfully, though. Not trying to be serious or angry in any way. Also, trying to hide it from my father as well.
Okay. So the meal commences, and nothing of note happens during this meal. And afterwards, your father gets up, and he just kind of casually says that he has business to attend to, and he leaves. And so leaving just you and your siblings.
I look over to my brother, and I just gesture toward him like, is everything okay, brother?
He says, "It's the same old argument we keep having. Father wants me to take over, and I told him I have no interest in doing so."
Is he going to try to make you do the ritual by force?
"I don't know. Do you really think he would do that?"
Father.
"Then, yeah, he's probably going to do that."
I mean, you are his favorite out of all of us. You're the one that's the strongest, smartest, quickest. You can swing the sword the best.
I suppose you're right. I hope that you're right.
Forgotten looks a little distraught, because he would roughly know what the ritual entails, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of common knowledge among your family.
He sits there and just kind of sits uncomfortable, and he's just like, I mean, oh, brother, I'm not the best, but I can blend the hand. I've gotten quite good at the rapier.
He says, "You know as well as I do, you're not allowed to interfere."
Still just doesn't seem right.
Well, unfortunately, neither of us get to make the rules.
Yeah, he puts his hand in his face and sits there and rubs, and he's just like, sadly, you're right on that one. Well, you try to inform me before anything happens, okay?
He says, "Will do." Now, why don't you give me an insight check?
That's an unnatural 20.
Okay. You can tell by looking at him that something's bothering him, especially when you asked him to inform you before anything happened.
Forgotten's really, sorry. I'm really close with my brother, so if he doesn't really want to tell me, I'll kind of keep it to myself. But as I excuse myself and ruffle my little sister's hair, I'll step out of the dining hall, but I'm going to want to try to keep a watch on him. Something seems to be up, and it's not the norm.
Okay, so is there anything you do after dinner?
What would there? I'll go to the library.
Okay.
I just want to search on some books, see what catches my eye. I've pawned through the family's library before, and every once in a while there seems to be a book that always catches my eye to read.
Okay. So, as you're well aware that your family's library is quite huge. You know, it has just about any volume in Xiotar that you could look for.
Of course. Royalty and such. Whatever that. So, as I enter the room, I just sit there and actually mutter to myself, and it's just like, so much knowledge.
Okay. When you enter the library, your mother is there. She appears to be looking for a book on one of the shelves.
I'll approach her, letting myself slouch a little bit more like I naturally do, since I'm not around father, not trying to keep my back straight and act prim and proper. Approach her. You need help, mother?
She says, "Thanks for the offer, but I'm fairly certain I'll be able to find it."
What are you trying to hunt down? Maybe I know the location, or I have it up in my room myself.
She says, "Oh, I doubt it. I'm looking for a cookbook."
Okay, you got me on. Is everything going okay between father and brother?
You can see her face falls just a little bit at the mention of this, and she looks you directly in the eyes, and she says, "Your father is planning on making him do the ritual, whether he wants to or not."
But by doing it by force, the results will be skewed, altered. They won't be as if naturally occurring.
I don't think he's in his right mind right now. For whatever reason, he did not expect your brother to turn down this honor.
Brother's never been one for violence as well. even though he may be naturally good at it, there's not much for it.
That is a fair point.
You don't think it's, well, the higher ups kind of pushing on Father, do you?
I can't say for certain, but it would not surprise me.
Alright. At this point, he sits there and kind of pushes his hair back through his horns and everything, gets it back straight where it goes in place, and he's just like, okay. Well, if you need any help, Mother, to reach books on the higher shelves, let me know. I'm going to go browse through, see if I find anything that catches my eye.
He says, okay.
At that point, I give her a courteous bow, adjust kind of like my cloak over my clothes, and kind of walk through the library. See if roughly anything does catch my eye. Not hunting for anything in particular, just scanning the titles.
Okay. So, now, this library is massive, shelves line all of the walls. So are you going to pick a particular section? They are, all the books are divided by what type of book they are. So, there's the fictional section, then there's the, the scientific, the arcane, history, and so on and so forth.
I'll lean more towards the weaponry side. See if I can read about a couple more new designs that may have gotten released or so.
Okay, so you head over to the section that is on weapons and the art of war and such, all clustered in that area. So are you looking for anything in particular, or just gonna browse?
Seeing if the title catches my eye.
Okay, roll me a percentile die.
No, not a problem. 25.
25. Okay, as you are searching over this bookshelf, you are looking and you're like, oh, read it, doesn't look interesting, read it, that one was boring. You happen to cross, you see a cover that looks fairly new. You're like, I don't think I've seen this one before, so you take a look at it, and it is a book on weapon design and the possible implementations in combat of different designs.
I start flipping through, see if there's any new designs, anything that catches my eye, anything of interest. Maybe something I should try to go out and get my hold of myself.
Okay. As you are flipping through this book, you notice there is, a few new designs, most of them just slight variations or improvements on things that are already there. But as you're flipping through, you stop on one sword that particularly catches your eye. It's not like any other sword shape that you've seen before, and you're curious on how it would feel to wield because it's not an evenly balanced weapon.
I'd sit there and study for a second, think about how such a quandary would actually fit. Even though I may not be the best at swinging the weapons, I still find a fancy in them. They're joyous to look at upon how the intricate designs, the almost art of the metal working. Pushing inside my cloak, I pull out a little book, a little satchel that I usually keep books that minorly catch my interest. I slide it in there, pop the top back close, and sit there and save it later for reading.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to do while you were in the library?
No, I got a good book I could read. I'll, actually, it's starting to get about night, right?
Yes. At this point, candles are being lit. Magical braziers and such are also being set alight.
I'm gonna go see if I can track down either father or brother.
Okay. Your father is probably in his study. You know this just by past experience. And your brother is probably in his quarters.
I'm gonna go see if I can check on my father to make sure he's there.
Okay. So you get up to his study, and the door is shut.
Lightly, I just do light 3 knocks and just get, Father, are you in there?
You hear a gruff voice, and it says, What do you want?
I was cruising through the library and I noticed a new book. I wanted to see if you had any thoughts on this new weapon idea. It's actually kind of bizarre.
You can hear him. He doesn't quite sound like he's completely paying attention. And he says, that sounds interesting. Come by tomorrow sometime. I'm kind of in the middle of something right now.
Oh, okay, Father. Good luck on your studies. He Says awkwardly as he just.
And you just kind of hear a from the other side.
I'll go into my room and study my book then. I don't have much cause to do anything else.
Okay. So, how late do you plan on studying before you?
Let's say a good 2 to 3 hours.
2
This
3
book
hours.
seems to be new. I want to sink some time into the designs.
Okay. As you spend this time poring over the book and the designs, you get a good feel for how you think they would react versus, the weapons you've already wielded before.
Mm-hmm.
But this new design, you're not entirely sure. Why don't you give me, we'll just do a straight intelligence check.
No, not a problem. That's a 19.
Okay. So, when you're looking at this, you think it might be designed to really combat armor. It's got a heavy look to it, and you think rather than piercing, it's almost made for just crushing armor. So it's not quite a sword, but not quite a blunt weapon either.
Kind of barbaric in its attitude. Instead of being smart enough to go for the weak points, it wants to just break through the hardest part. I could see where some people may find that interesting, but it's kind of childish.
Okay. At this point, you find yourself getting kind of tired. Eyes are getting a little bit bleary, so you kind of start to nod off as you're reading.
I sit there and rub my eyes a little bit, close the book, kind of scratch behind the horns. They feel like they may be growing, so it's a little bit itchy. And time for bed, I guess. Whatever. He just tosses off his cloak and everything like that, gets into his usual night gear, well, just nightly clothes, which is just like thin silk, and lays down in his bed.
Okay. You are abruptly awoken. You're not quite sure what's going on at the exact moment, so why don't you give me a perception roll?
Not a problem. That's a natural 1.
Okay, you are not sure what is going on at all. You have no idea how long you've been asleep, and you're not even sure who's waking you up. You still kind of got some sleep in your eye.
So sitting there, sitting up and everything like that, making sure the horns don't come in contact with anybody, just rubbing the eyes, just like, yes, I'm awake.
It is your mother. She says, "Quickly, get up. Your father is getting ready to perform the ritual with your brother. Quickly, now."
What? He quickly just throws off his night guard, starts throwing on his normal clothes, fastening his boots, tossing off his cloak, and he's just like, "What now? Seriously?"
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
As you're getting ready, you can look out the window and you can see that the sun is just now cresting. So it is very early in the morning.
Oh, they had to do this early. Why'd they even have to do it? Whatever. Mom, let's go.
Okay, so both of you rush down to the main gathering hall, and you can see that your father and your brother are both in opposite sides of the room, both donning their armor and their weapons.
I'm just adjusting because I usually don't always carry them around. I also have my armor on, which happens to be of a leather quality, and as well as I'm adjusting the couple of weapons I have just in case. Kind of keeping them out of sight, my cloak over them, but I just like the short sword I have on my back, the sickle, rapier, the hand axe, and the 2 daggers I have in my boots.
Okay. Now after they get all situated, they both meet in the middle of the room, and they both put their swords out. They're both wielding rapiers, you notice. And they both touch rapiers, and then they begin dueling. And as this is going on, your brother seems to be holding his own.
The entire time, I have my rapier kind of off in my hilt, but I have my hand up under my cloak, just kind of holding the hilt, waiting, because I love my father, but he's a cruel man, and I'm not going to let my brother die.
Okay. And as the battle goes on, it looks like whatever your brother was doing to hold your father off is slowly beginning to be unsuccessful, and your father seems to be getting the upper hand. And out of all of a sudden, your brother makes a tactical error, and your father takes full advantage of it, taking the hilt of his sword, slamming it into the side of your brother's head, knocking him to the ground.
About this time, Fergon was about to sit there and yell to go for Father's weak knee, but he notices he couldn't get his words quite out right. He's tired of it. He draws his rapier and pulls a dagger out of his boot and just yells, "Father!"
At this point, your father is holding the point of the rapier at your brother's throat, and he says, "You know the punishment of defeat. We cannot have weakness ruling over the family estate."
Holding the rapier up in a stance for repose, ready back, having the dagger off to the side, and just like, "But he's your own blood, Father. You're going to kill your own son over this?"
This is the ritual. And he plunges the sword into your brother's throat.
I swipe at him with the rapier. I don't care. He's trying to stop him.
Okay, roll for initiative.
That's a 17.
Okay, you go first.
Alright. I'm gonna swish at him with my rapier. That is a 19 to hit him.
Okay, that does not hit.
And then I'm going to use a bonus action to offhand my dagger,
Okay,
which basically means I can just roll the hit without any of my bonuses to damage.
got it.
Oh no, that's a 7.
Yes, that does not hit. Okay, so he easily parries your sword. You come at him with the dagger, and he just kind of swats your hand away. You're kind of off balance. You weren't expecting this. So then he makes his attack. Okay. I take it a 7 does not hit your armor class.
Sadly, no, it does not.
Okay, so you're able to get your sword up in time to parry his...
You're slow.
And he takes another swing. Does a 13 hit your armor class?
Nope, one below.
Okay,
I'm going to kill you for killing him.
go ahead.
Alright, same deal. I'm going to swipe at him with my rapier. That's about all I can do. That is a 19 plus 3, so 21.
Okay, you land a hit.
That will be a D8 plus 3. So 9 damage as I swish at him with my rapier, going for a kink in his armor.
Okay, you're able to find just the right spot, and you get him with a jab. He grunts just slightly, and then he swings for you.
Not able to get my dagger in.
No. Okay, 12 does not hit.
Sadly, no.
Neither does a 7.
Nope.
At this point, your father is quite angry, so he is swinging kind of wildly.
Sitting there just jumping off to the side. Even though I may not be as strong as my brother, but I still have some quickness to me. Just hopping off left and right, making sure I parry off his to try to look for an opening. I'll go for another rapier this time.
Okay.
Trying to aim for that same kink, using his own blood as a marker. I'm guessing a 17 won't hit him.
It does not.
I'll try for the dagger as well, even though I'm not as good with it. I also missed with my dagger. That was a 5 on the die.
Okay. As you go in to stab with the dagger, he uses his reaction to actually hit you in the wrist, and it causes you to drop it.
I do. I sit there and look at it. I don't like losing weapons out of my collection. So this kind of infuriates me as well.
Okay, so he's going to attack you again. Does a 17 hit your armor class?
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so this time he slashes across your face.
I try to, well, he gets it through, so what's the damage? But I try to deflect the blow at least to halfway downward so it doesn't hit me as hard.
Okay, let's see. That's going to be... Okay, that does 9 damage, and it leaves a mark starting at the top of your head, going downwards, over narrowly missing one eye, and then going down the cheek.
I look back, because that hit real hard. I'm not looking good, but I can't back down now. I have no choice.
Okay, does a 14 hit your armor class?
That matches it.
Okay. Let's see, so we'll do... At this point, he does another slash, and your armor takes most of the brunt of it, but you do get a small incision across your chest.
I've never really seen so much of my own blood before.
And that's 6 more damage.
I go down. That takes me down.
Okay. And as you're fading in and out of consciousness, you hear your father say something. You can't quite make it out, and 2 people come, grab you by each arm, and start dragging you off.
I sit there and curse his name before I completely black out.
Okay. As you awaken, you find yourself locked in a small room. A glance out the one of the barred windows, you realize you're locked up in the tower.
I sit there and pat myself down. See all. Do I have my rapier still? My daggers? Anything?
You do not have any of your weapons on you. You do notice a small bundle that has been. It's something wrapped in paper, tied with twine around it, sitting near the door.
I pick it up and I pull the twine off.
Okay, it is the small statue that your mother gifted you for your birthday.
What's this child's toy supposed to do? What was the story again? Oh.
Okay, give me a perception roll.
That is a total of 4.
Okay, you're studying this trinket, and you cannot see anything particularly special about it.
Child's toy. It's a story my mother once told me. What was his name? Axel? What was his name? I just shout in anger. What's a child's toy supposed to do to help?
Okay, give me a history check.
Not a problem. That was horrible. 15.
Okay, that's just enough. You remember your mother said that its name was Atlas.
Ah, it's Atlas.
And you also vaguely remember a story about Atlas. You can't remember all the details, but he was some kind of warrior, so you're not sure if maybe this was a model of the warrior's armor or what, but...
Yeah, so what's the story about Atlas, a warrior, supposed to help me here? So I sit there and just continue studying it. Actually, no, I'll try the door now. I'll take the little token away and try the door.
The door is locked.
Is there any way down, out?
Okay, so you know from previous experience that there's only one way up into the tower and one way down, and it's through this locked door. And as you rattle to the door, you hear chains on the other side rattle along with it. So it's locked fast.
I simply just shout out, "You're so childish, you have to lock your own son in a tower, father!"
Okay, in your fit of rage, you throw Atlas against the far wall.
What's a child toy supposed to do? Sit there and just chuck it.
Okay, as it hits the wall, it clatters to the ground, and then it begins to grow. It continues to grow until it reaches the size of an iron golem.
Passerolde. What? What are you?
He says nothing, but he just turns his head to look you in the face.
And Atlas?
He nods his head.
But you going to help me get out of here?
Nods his head again.
Sitting there regaining his composure, just fixing up his robes and everything. He's just like, okay, this is weird. Can you think you can open that door?
So Atlas goes to strike the door, and his fist is rebuffed as if there's some sort of protection over it.
Well, for someone as big as you can't break down the wooden door? I wanted to go ahead and do an arcane check on that. See if I recognize anything.
Okay.
That is a 17.
Okay, you notice that along the door frame, runes have been carved of some sort. You imagine the reaction with the golem's fist colliding with it, that it is probably some kind of shielding rune.
I look outside one of the windows. There is windows, right?
There is one window, yes, and it is barred.
Okay, big guy, you think you can break this one?
He looks at you, then he looks at the barred windows, and he gives a mighty kick, and a section of the wall just obliterates.
Hey, good job, Atlas. What? You think you can climb down that?
He motions for you to come closer to him.
I walk closer.
Okay.
Hesitantly, because it's still an iron golem.
So he attempts to pick you up. Are you going to let him?
I mean, yeah, it was a mother's story. He was a great warrior. He wasn't evil either. So.
Okay. So he picks you up, legs kind of over one arm, supporting your back with the other, and he leaps out of the tower.
No, big guy, no!
And he lands down into the courtyard. And you know there is a massive 20-foot wall surrounding this courtyard. And you actually do not feel much of the impact. So his body must have took most of the impact to it.
Okay, tap him on the armor. Good idea. I want to touch ground now. Please let me touch ground.
He jumps.
No!
And he clears the wall.
No,
And lands on the other side.
Ah.
And the same as before, you don't notice much of the impact. Like maybe his legs and his arms are absorbing it.
Atlas, the wrong way. Kill father. That way. Opposite way, brother.
And
Come on, big guy.
Atlas takes off, running away from the compound.
No, Iron Behemoth, that way, wrong way.
Okay, and that is where we're going to stop on yours. Belmont, it's your sole responsibility to rid the world of the undead menace. Whether it be witches or vampires or the simple zombie. You've been hunting them down wherever you can find them. Your latest travels have taken you to the capital of Xiotar. You're not entirely sure why, but you believe the trail is leading to a powerful lich inside the city. So you've made it your mission to take him down. You approach the city, and you're some distance away, but you can see that it is massively walled off, and that there's at least one gate in. How do you approach?
Do I see any areas in the wall I might be able to climb over?
Give me a perception check.
This suck. 2 plus 4 is 6.
Okay, you're still too far away to be able to really get a detail. The walls look kind of smooth from here, though.
How tall are they?
About 20 feet tall.
Alright, I guess I'm just gonna walk up to the front gate. That'll work for me.
Okay, you walk up to the gate. There are 2 guards. They step in front and they say, "State your business."
I'm here to take down, so that's fine with you guys. I attempt to walk past them, just brushing them off.
Halberds cross
Oh, come on,
in between
guys.
them. They said,
Look at me, buddy.
"State your business."
Look, we got limited time, and I don't know how long this thing is gonna stay quiet until it unleashes a undead horde upon your place. Can I just go through and kill it already?
Says, "We have more than enough paladins within the city to take care of any sort of threat. What makes you think you could handle such a thing?"
I flash my Belmont amulet that has like the signature, like not a signature, but it has like the
crest.
family crest on it.
The guards look at each other, look back at you. Is that supposed to mean anything?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm the last bloodline of the Belmont clan. You probably haven't really heard of me if you don't know what that means, but essentially, I am a vampire hunter, undead hunter, and anything evil.
They kind of glance at each other. They both nod at each other. Yeah, we're not going to let you in.
Have to make it hard, huh? So,
Yep.
Would you like to land on your asses tonight, or?
They both mockingly laugh. The sort of as if kind of laugh.
And I'm just gonna run right past them.
Okay, so they are standing in the middle of the gateway. You can't get around them, and then they have their halberds crossed in the middle. So you're going to need to get between them. So go ahead and give me a dexterity check to try to, well, either dexterity or strength to bowl through them, whichever one you want.
I'm gonna do dex. I'm more dex oriented. Okay, that's nicer. Okay, that's a 18.
18? Okay, you are able to bob and weave in between their halberds, and you take off at a sprint into the city.
Nice meeting you, gotta go.
Okay, now state your name, race, and class.
My name is Jacob Belmont. I'm a fighter, and I...
Okay, so as you continue to dash through the city, not so quietly, I must say. The guards are like, "Wait, stop! No, get back here!" It appears to you they probably aren't allowed to leave their post.
I turn around, wave at him, and I kind of like smack my rope at him and keep running.
Okay, at this, you notice him pull some kind of object out of his belt. Why don't you give me a perception roll?
4, that's a 12.
You're not entirely sure, but it's probably a sending stone.
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so I just go deeper into the markets, I guess. Trying to hide amongst the crowds.
Okay. Indeed, you notice that you are in the market section. There is, the hubbub of a live market. It's the middle of the afternoon, so there's a lot of shoppers going on. Why don't you give me a perception check of the market?
That's a 13.
13? Okay. You notice a couple more paladins, by the look of them, working their way through. Why don't you give me a stealth check to try to blend into the crowd?
You love 9s, don't you, Dice? That's a 16.
Okay, you are successfully able to blend in with the crowd, look like a regular old shopper. Okay. So, the undead was somewhere in the city, but you don't really know where. What do you do?
Best place to look, probably to contact a single paladin if I can get a hold of just one on his own.
Okay, so do you try to find one?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find just a paladin on his own.
Okay. It's not hard. There's still several milling around the market.
So I'm gonna kind of like creep up behind one and try to just tap on the shoulder and say, "Hey,
He wheels around and says, "You there. What do you want?"
I know you're a paladin by the look of you, clearly of higher noble knight class.
This is what of it?
I'm looking for. If I told you it was a lich, would you be interested?
He narrows his eyes. He says, "What about a lich?"
Well, I've had reason to believe that there might be one here, and I'm here to eliminate it.
Are you now?
Yes.
Funny. Someone stormed into the city just a while ago saying the same thing. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
Maybe if the guards were a little bit more polite here.
Okay. He says, why don't you come with me to the outpost and we can try to help you find it.
By that, do you mean you're going to take me to get captured, or?
Roll an insight.
That's an 8.
You're not sure what he means. He could mean he's going to help you. He could mean he's going to try to arrest you. His meaning was unclear.
Right. So I'm just going to leave it like this, and then I'm going to follow him. I'm going to say, so I'm going to put some trust in you. Trust in me, okay?
He says, "Oh, sure. Of course.
All right. Now follow behind him about a good 5 feet. Maybe.
Okay. As you're walking through the city, you notice there's just a trail of very large footprints in the cobblestone, just heading off in one direction.
That might have something to do with my problem. Hey, Mr. Guard, you're no longer of an assistance, and I start following the tracks.
He says, "No. Come with me. We'll get you sorted out."
Do you see this? Look at this.
Says this. Oh, no, don't worry about this. This is being handled.
What?
It's just a golem. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Golem, huh?
Yeah,
That's a high-level magic right there.
No, but it's just short-circuiting. You know how it is.
Short-circuiting?
Yeah.
I'd like to investigate it out, though.
Says it's an official guard matter. Don't worry.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll check it out for you.
He says, why don't we stop by the outpost first?
And I take off sprinting.
Okay.
That's his go-to.
He is going to take after you. Wait, stop, no, get back here.
Believe me, I've been sprinting a lot in my life.
Okay, give me a stealth check to see if you're able to escape him.
Escape.
Say 11.
Okay, you are currently not able to evade him. He's still hot on your trail.
He's angry.
Are you following the footsteps still?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep following the footprints even though he's following me.
Okay, you hear the clatter of his feet behind you. He's still, "No, stop, get back here. You're under arrest. Halt."
You act like you have something to hide. Is this your doing?
Says, "Stop, get back here. You're under arrest. Halt."
You have like 3 lines of dialogue. They don't teach you guards much to say, do you?
He says, "No, really, I mean it. You're under arrest. I'm not kidding. It's time for you to be arrested."
Neither do you know how much threat a lich poses? Let me just spell that out. And I yell it out loud in the middle of the city. Lich.
Okay, at this point you're in the alley, so there's not really anyone but you two.
Anyway, so I'm in the middle of an alley.
Yeah, you're going down an alley. As you're running, give me another perception check to see where you're at.
That's not bad. That's a 19.
Okay, you see off in the distance, kind of off to the side, what appears to be a temple of some sort.
Did the tracks seem to lead off to it?
No, but they do kind of run parallel to the location of the temple.
I'm gonna keep
Like he
following
ran
them.
past it.
I'm gonna keep following the tracks. But I'm gonna keep the temple in mind.
Okay.
Just in case.
As you're running near the temple, it feels quite ominous for some reason. Not quite right.
I'm getting the GBGBs from this building.
How dare you? This is sacred.
Sacred?
You can't hear everything he's saying. He's kind of starting to every third word kind of heaving a bit.
You know,
You've been running for a long time, and he's wearing plate armor.
Heavy armor is kind of a disadvantage, honestly. I suggest like leather, maybe even splint. That's not bad.
You're not able to quite get what he's saying. You're gaining on him at this point, and you're only hearing about every third word.
Hey, he's no longer a threat, and I can just keep running.
At this point, he's just had to stop and hands on his knees.
I'm gonna leave like a gold piece behind me on the trails we're going, and I'm gonna keep running. Just for his trouble. He had to run after me.
Okay, as you're running by the footsteps, you passed right by the monastery. You see on a couple buildings away a figure with wings perched up on a rooftop, just staring towards the monastery.
I stop, go, hey, you, Bert, what are you? I've never seen something like you before.
I see the person talking to me. I dismount, hit the ground, stand perched as tall as I can be at 5 foot.
For the reference, my character in this is, let's see how tall I am.
You made him.
Hold on. 6'3".
It's just a wee bit of difference between the two of you. Just a wee bit there.
To be fair, 5 foot's not that short. But anyway, I stand up, I go, well, do you mean me in particular?
Yeah, you're the only one with like wings and feathers and stuff, you know.
So my race then. Okay.
I've never seen one of your kind though.
My kind are known as Aarakocra.
Lovely talk. This trail seems very ominous. I'm getting a very bad vibe from it. I'm on the hunt for a lich. You want to help me? You seem capable.
I suppose I could. I'm on a bigger mission, but this could fit very well into it. You have my help.
All right, and I guess follow me any way you can. I just turn and run. Keep running after the
The running
trail.
speed isn't as fast, so I take to the air to follow.
Okay, as you two are approaching, you hear kind of a commotion in the distance. It sounds like heavy, heavy footfalls. And swearing in some language that you guys do not recognize.
I call out to him. It sounds angry.
I get that. Can you fly ahead and see what it is?
My flying speed is 50, which I think is faster than your running speed. So I'm going to
Indeed.
attempt to get ahead of you and see if I can see it.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, you go up a little bit as you're going, and then you can get a bird's eye view, as it was.
Is bear assumption?
And you can see what looks to be some kind of creature. You're not quite sure what it is. You've never seen a golem before, so you wouldn't actually be
Yes,
aware of what they are. But it seems to be this large metal man carrying a small fleshy man with horns, who is protesting quite loudly about being carried.
Once I see this, I dive bomb down to get speed. And I basically, like, while you're running, I'm just flying beside you because I don't run very fast.
Mhm.
I say, it's a large metal man with a demon on his shoulder being very angry at something.
Demon?
I assume.
Liches are very funny about this. Okay, and I unsheath the whip as I'm running. I'm just holding it in hand.
Okay, you also noticed as he's doing that behind them, also running, was two other individuals trying, it looked like, to catch said metal man.
You know, this is very embarrassing for me.
Choose to leave that part out, though, because they weren't the part that was interesting.
All right.
But I'd be able to see them. Them.
You not at this distance. There's the alley's kind of still weaving and stuff. He got up, and that's how he's able to see him.
Okay.
But you can hear them all.
You know, if y'all can stop running and make this easier, I yell.
I don't hear that, do
He's smart.
You hear voices shouting, but you can't quite make it out over Atlas's footfalls.
Alice! Alice! Anytime now! I'm gonna get sick!
It's gonna shower.
You hurl all over the cobblestone. Atlas does not slow in the slightest.
I let Jacob know. I'm faster. I'll attempt to catch up. Do your best to get up there once I stop him. I just take off.
I'm gonna need at least a gallon
Okay.
of water after this.
Now, Forgotten, I need you to give me a perception check.
Oh,
no.
I'm too busy getting sick with a hot 5.
Okay, you're completely distracted, but it still seems to you like the footfalls are just slightly slower than they were before.
He's running out of steam.
That's the right thing. That's the right thing, big guy. Stop. Just stop. I want
Okay.
the ground. Ground, please.
Roll me one more perception check.
That's another 4.
Okay,
Ground, please. Just ground.
you could swear you're getting closer to the ground as well.
Yes. You're listening.
Okay, as Atlas continues to run, the footfalls do indeed get slower, almost like they're not quite as far apart. You seem to be getting closer and closer to the ground. Momentum's not stopping a whole lot, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're skidding across the ground as Atlas shrinks back down into a totem. Okay, you two first, the druids, and then the other two run up onto, you see the tiefling kind of just sprawled out in a very uncomfortable position on the ground with Atlas nowhere to be seen, although there is a Atlas-esque doll on the ground near him.
You just see Weekend calling for it, right? It's just like,
Next time, listen to me.
So we're there.
Yes, you have caught up.
you see him like stand up, brush himself off, kind of hide the vomit behind him.
Alright, the rest of you see standing before you, tiefling with a, looks to be a fresh scar down his face.
Just a brief description because I didn't go over it. He's about a 6 foot tall. He has horns like basically Hellboy when he gets his full crown on. He has those protruding from his head. He has pitch black, pupilless eyes, just solid and staring. He has a short, chopped black hair that's kind of pinned off to the back. He's wearing a overcoat that has intricate designs throughout it, and a nice robe-like structure that seems to be leather armor that goes into multiple V's as it goes down his chest. And he also has like a gold ring on one of his horns where it seems to be placed there when he was young, and it's just kind of grown with it. And then a couple of piercings in his ear and one ring on his hand. Just like, well, hello.
Are you okay?
I don't think he is.
Sandler.
I'm good.
Sure.
I'm good. Not good, but good.
Where has the large metal man ran to?
Okay, first of all, what is one of your kind doing here?
Questions for later. Where is the metal man?
He went away. I don't know. I don't understand it. Gone.
I point at him because I don't know pointing's rude, and I say, "Well, did he put the scar on your face?"
Let's put a pin in it.
At this point, my character finally catches up, and he's out of breath, and he's just like,
The metal man has disappeared, but this was the demon.
I break out.
Technically not incorrect, but technically also wrong. I'm not a demon.
He's not angry anymore.
Not angry? Okay.
Well,
Are you responsible
fair,
for the
he
lich?
wasn't really.
Leifial,
Again, that's probably not
you
right.
recognize that, obviously he's a tiefling, and by his mode of dress, that he is from one of the high houses, as nearly all tieflings are.
I was about to say, can I make an intelligence, history check on her to see if,
You can. I was going to tell both of you, though, you do recognize that you are not related, though.
Oh, that is a 23.
Intelligence?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's a 7.
Okay, you both realize immediately which houses you're both from.
You see him kind of tapping around.
Hey.
Saruta.
I take it you know me.
Personally, or your family?
Assuming me, considering by your actions.
Personally, I don't know you, but I know of your house. So, just reflexes as always. Forgive my rudeness. My name is Forgotten. He extends his hand.
Well, I hope you remembered it.
Leifial.
Ha ha.
Refer to me as Forgot.
Oh, that's much
And
clearer.
you are, you. What are you? And name.
He clicks his claws together, or talons, and does his traditional bow and says, I am Tau Draxe. I'm from Aarakocra Island, off the far coast.
Well, nice to meet you. He extends his hand to you as well.
Careful, he might be dangerous.
Considering he just threw up everywhere.
And you.
Why?
Who are you? Why are you chasing? Never mind. That question answers itself. But who are you?
My name is Jacob Belmont. I come from House Belmont. Excuse me, I've been sprinting since I got in town.
When he sits there and retches, Forgotten's also sitting there, immediately reminded, just like,
Okay, Forgotten, give me a history check to see if you recognize the name Belmont.
that is a 16.
Okay, you are vaguely familiar with this house, actually, given all the study and books. As far as you thought, though, that they were all gone.
Either you're a liar, or your name slipped through the history books. I thought you all were dead.
Well, all dead, yes. One left, yes.
So we'll go with option 2.
Yes.
Question after this. Now, who are you hiding behind her? And also, why are you hiding behind her?
I am no one.
That's a good question.
Incorrect. I want your name.
I am no one.
Okay. Can I go ahead and roll intimidation?
Absolutely.
I'm scared of that.
Oh, that's a 17 plus 7.
Oh,
Okay,
you are-
roll insight, see if you can beat it.
Goodness,
That's a 25. Intimidation is one of his things.
Oh, no.
That's
No,
almost that
no, I
one
didn't get
except
it.
charisma.
Okay, you are very frightened by
You
this
notice
young
he kind of
tiefling.
straightens his posture and his black eyes lock on you. Name.
Loom.
Nice to meet you, Luke. He extends his hand. Immediately back to the friendly face.
I kind of hesitantly grab his hand.
Nice. So, questions for all of you. Why are you here? Belmont's usually hunted evil beings. Which city? Makes sense. You're far from home. Don't know you. Never seen you.
I'll go first. I was given a mission by the elders of my tribe. Aarakocra from our tribe have not flown in generations due to the imbalance of the gods. I am storing.
Okay, so, Forgotten, you are well aware of what happened with the gods because while the history is kept from the commoners, people of your status would know how Xios triumphantly was victorious over the gods. And, Leifial, you would be aware of that as well. That's something that would be quite boasted about within the Tiefling society.
I'm just sitting there thinking, I was just like, try it. Nice and I'm glad you have a couple.
Not.
I do now.
I got caught with breath.
So what's a demon hunter, monster, slayer?
Vampire hunter, actually. Undead on the side when I have time. There's a lich in your town.
Okay, this town's full of evil, rotten beings. Vampires and liches are common.
I turn around and look back towards the town.
So, are you
Oh.
hunting any particular lich?
Well, now that I don't think I can kill an entire city.
I mean, you could try.
Well, it's mainly like humans, drow, some tieflings like me and her. But then, I mean, it's not a shunned sight to see a lich just float through or vampires that stalk in the streets at night.
Oh, great. It's haunted here.
One thing you do realize is the sun really never shines here, so they can come out pretty much any hour without any worry.
And I just point up there, like, yeah, that never really hits the city, right? So they're usually, you probably walked past, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10.
He's right, we did not check.
Well, I was kind of in a rush, considering I had the guards hot on my tail.
Now, why are you fooling?
I have a tail and he looks reason.
Yes, it's just invisible. You can't see it.
Oh,
All humans
I'm
have
going to do
one.
an insight
that
on
would be a
you.
good
Oh,
one.
Indeed.
I'm going to do an insight
I use it for tail sweeps all the time.
on
Leifial.
Leifial. That is a 5.
Ooh.
All's not being nice to you.
The oof.
You know my name.
You know she's a tiefling.
Well, me and you probably need to have a discussion.
Oh,
That's
If you're worried about me turning you in or for any, I'm no.
not really trust you.
So, I seem to have gained my stomach. Is anyone hungry? Because I kind of am. And plus, I need to rubs his scarred out, his cut open eye, and just like, and plus, I probably need to get this stitched.
Wait a minute. You took off from that town without getting rations first?
None of that was by choice.
Alright.
We'll figure that out.
How about you? You got rations?
Yeah. He motions to the pack that's on his back.
Alright.
I can't return home until my job is complete. I should have.
I just didn't
I
know
have
what your
rations.
kind eats,
I have
so.
rations too, don't I?
Yeah.
Food?
I don't. It wasn't. It
People?
didn't come with my kid.
Thanks.
Step back a foot.
So dinner? Yes? No?
Well, what kind of creatures do you usually have around here?
Anything that walks and it's meat. Usually. Usually you
Sounds
don't
about
ask the butcher what he's serving. You just kind of meat.
Right.
I don't know. It's usually always on the plate. I don't cook it. The cooks in the back do.
We must know what you want, though. I can go grab it, but I must know what I am diving for.
We'll talk about that also later.
I think for right now, we should probably get as far away from this town as possible.
I
Considering I have the guards on me, maybe, so.
You know what?
And also your friend, I point towards the statue.
Oh no, that's tucked away in his robes.
Your friend, wherever he is, 'cause I don't assume that you made these footprints unless you can grow.
Let's go with yes. Let's probably get away from
Okay.
The temple. I needed to visit the temple.
You don't want that temple.
Which
really
temple?
don't.
Which temple?
The one that you guys ran past.
The
Can I make a history check on that?
Yep.
That is a 15.
Okay, yeah, you know that's a temple for Datera, the unsilly goddess.
That's a temple to Satera.
Datera.
Datera. Sure you wanna? He looks you up and down. He's just like, you don't look like the type to go in there. You know, drum, dreary. Not you.
Stares just with this blank bird stare and goes, "Who is the Terra?"
I think I'm getting what he's putting down.
Let's just say, you know how everything used to be nice, and from what the history books say, the world was balanced. You know, good and evil.
And will be again, yes.
She bad. You don't seem to be.
you don't want to go there.
If you walk in with your attitude and let's
Your
just go
own
ahead and
sense
say,
of
let's just
the
go ahead and
goddess.
say you're a race. It won't take too kindly, and most likely they'll probably be having drums tonight.
Speak very lowly.
I don't. I think everyone's equal. They do.
I will let you know, out of all my experience with hunting things evil and abroad, if you go in there, you're gonna die. Bad.
I second that one.
He contemplates it over, preening the top of his hair, or feathers, and just thinks, "Fine, you have persuaded me, but I will come back."
One day, not today.
You know what? Me and you. And he smiles a devilish smile. Me and you.
Makes you sign something, don't sign it.
And he sits there and looks at all of them and he's like, we will all get along.
He
From the
mentions-
looks of things.
He talks to Jacob and says, "Well, he would be out of luck. I don't know sign language."
You know what? Here's what you want, buddy. You got you.
So, off we go.
Indeed.
Anyone got a map? Because I don't.
I should. I came here.
I don't, but I know the
I
area.
flew over the city.
You know the yeah,
I adventured.
Leifial. You know the city very well. Forgotten, you know the city as well. You've lived here your whole life. So
Walked around.
once you get your bearings, you could probably figure out how to get out fairly easily.
Well, what would that be?
Just give me a history check to see if you can figure out where you're at.
That is a 19.
Okay. You you pass the temple and you realize the temple is right near the market, and the market is right near one of the gates to escape. Or
Which
one of the gates out.
family's gate?
Yours.
Well,
Ooh.
there is a gate nearby. I suggest we not go there.
Why? It is the quickest exit.
It's his family.
Yes. There's another gate not too far off this way. We should go that way. Like now, please.
And you would know that gate is neither of yours.
That
Families.
gate's good. Good.
Alright, I guess that'll work. We're not the most inconspicuous, but I don't think it matters.
With me and her,
Probably not.
don't worry about it.
I can
People
have my
give you
own.
a wide berth and are very reverent.
You guys notice when he starts walking through the crowd, his posture changes. Instead of being kind of slumped and everything, you notice his back straight, acting as if he's proud. His foot falls one in front of the other as if they're purposeful, and he doesn't glance at anyone else.
I just walk with my hands behind my head, like so.
Kind of walks with his hands behind his back, but with like a, I don't want to say like a bird gaunt, but like you can tell he's got different feet. No, he does not do that.
Do chicken walk.
No.
I was about to say, is there like a minor strut in there? Not much like voluntary, but it's every once in a while you notice.
Well, he doesn't walk with forward legs. He walks with, I can't remember what they're called, but he has backwards bent knees. So he would walk differently, yes. Birds.
Birds.
Why are you all so obsessed with chickens?
I wasn't saying chickens. I was saying you just have a minor strut like most birds do when they walk.
Anyway.
Flavor character kill giant chickens.
But yeah, so we make our way to
Try
the
it.
gate.
Okay,
See if I don't
so
one-shot you.
No one gives you any particular trouble as long as you're not, flashing your particular house symbols. You imagine that you will probably be fine.
Oh my!
I'm
No one recognizes, but I have my Belmont symbol on my back.
I've never really wore my house symbol just because I didn't really care about it,
Straight.
and there was never much of a need to.
Mine's been abandoned.
I have no connection to this place.
I kind of want to get out of here. This place is, and I look at a random civilian. Evil.
You know, he says, still walking forward, eyes not making contact. I agree. I really agree.
Okay, so you guys are able to make it to the gate just fine. When you do so, the guards snap to attention, allow you all to pass. They realize you are with the tieflings, so...
Actually, I approached one of the guards.
Okay.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
I look, does he have a spare sidearm, a short sword?
He doesn't on him, but you imagine the guardhouse probably has extra weapons.
Do you have any weaponry extra on you? A thief took my dagger. I'm taking this group to hunt him down.
Yes, one moment, sir. He goes into the guard hut and he pulls out a short sword with a scabbard.
Pull it out. Thank you. I'll return this post haste.
Just take your time, sir.
And name? Maybe you tell me your name so I could give you a good referral. Maybe get a promotion that you're well deserved for giving the proper respect.
Winston Wilberforce.
You notice him sit there and his demeanor doesn't crack, but you notice his cheeks kind of puff a little. He's, well, Winston, I'll let my father know immediately.
Thank you very much, sir.
Continue on your day. Enjoy an extra ration. And he walks away.
As I walk by, I tap him on the sword. Good job. Bye-bye.
As we're leaving earshot, I walk up to him and go, lied to me.
Yes. Yes, I did.
That's kind of his thing, in a way.
You don't know me.
But that's wrong.
No, but
Well, you said you needed
it's
a dagger,
just kind of
right?
I said,
stereotype.
well, technically I didn't lie. I did get my dagger stolen. Now, did I lie that the thief went this way? Also, yes.
So you needed a dagger, right?
Short sword will work.
Alright.
There's too much evil in this world already. You must tell the truth.
With the way these people work and how they are, it was easier.
Alright.
He's not lying.
Works for me.
You have not been in this city much long, so...
Sometimes there's
No,
such a
I
thing as
just got
necessary evils.
Not a good impression,
Okay,
though.
so there is not a lot around the outskirts of the walls of the city, and it's forest for a bit out, more or less. There are, cobblestone roads going out of each gate, and those are clear out for miles and miles. But there's plenty of forest space and even clearings, if you so choose, to make camp, as it's getting late in the evening at this point.
I forgot to
Should we
mention,
camp?
as soon as, right after we left, I pulled my sash back out.
Okay.
Right after we left the city?
Yes.
You does.
Like when we were walking through the gate?
After that, yes.
Yeah.
You said, okay.
Right after, we got past the guards.
As soon
Do
as
I
you pass the
notice
guards, just...
He's
Are you trying to be stealthy about
Nope.
it? Then you absolutely notice.
Do I know what it is?
I tell
You would recognize it as the holy symbol of Aurea.
You just have a death warrant, don't you?
you. He does indeed.
I don't care.
All I'm going to sit here and say
Yeah,
is someone walks
for
up to
me
you while you wear
in
that,
history to know what that is.
you ain't with me.
I guess I would know too, maybe.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
You are not familiar with it.
I'm gonna roll.
It is not something that is talked about a lot. The only holy symbol you would readily recognize is Xios and possibly Daterra.
So, what's up with the sash?
I too want to know why we prosecute him.
I'm familiar
He's-
with Xios, but...
He is a man that's worshipping something that is not welcome in the city. And if the guards would have saw that, he would have been dead on the spot, no matter my heritage or hers.
Well, if you're an enemy to them, I guess you're an ally to me.
Is your god on the order side of things or the chaos side?
Well, I'll just say she's on nature's side.
That is not the answer I wanted.
Nature can be quite chaotic sometimes. Have you seen a raging storm before?
Talk about an owlbear, they'll tear through everything.
He threatened one.
Or...
Let's go with that.
Okay, so you guys find a spot to your liking and you set up camp.
I'll go ahead and roll survival to help start a fire.
Okay?
I'll assist.
I'm gonna watch him.
That is a 12.
Let's say 15.
Yeah, between the two of you, you're easily able to get a campfire going.
Figured I'd read how to survive out in the wilderness on books.
Yeah, probably.
I've been living out in the wild for a while.
I live in the wild.
Oh, Forgotten sits.
I am.
He sits down and is just like, so, one of the druidic ways, what are you questing after? There's a reason in this city for a reason, and I'm guessing she's halfway the reason you're alive.
Definitely the reason he's alive. He was wearing his sash.
While everybody is talking, I have smith's tools. I will be enhancing my katana.
Okay.
Can I get some of that? If I have anything special.
Actually, at this point, he's starting to talk to them, and then he hears like the tink, tink, tink. And
Not so much like blacksmithing because it's just smith's tools,
Yeah.
but like sharpening and cleaning.
So like a whetstone.
Almost like a portable whetstone and like not oiled, but like a solution covered rag to make sure it's nice and shiny and polished.
Hearing those noises, you feel a distinct like short wind upon you, and then Forgotten's is respectful but kind of close distance away, and it's just like, what you got?
Sword I obtained from my brute.
Nice curvature. Is it full boys? We talking about leather on the handle? Or fat?
A little bit of both. And I show them on the bottom. It's like the scaled leather with the sashes wrapped around it.
Yeah.
I wipe what's left of the blade off so it's dry and hand it over.
I take it respectfully in this kind of not the same exact manner, but you notice the way I do it is respectful. Sitting there, start studying. He's just like, even though I may not be the best with them, I've always had a fascination with weapons, swords, and everything. The art of them always caught my.
To be fair, I don't plan on using it much. My practice at home, what used to be my mother's garden, I found out that I am much more entertaining with martial arts than I am with my blade. But nonetheless, it is the way we do things back at home. So I brought it with me.
That's a shame. It's a perfect blade. Give her a run, and he hands it back to you, also respectfully, blade pointed towards him, not you.
Takes it by the handle, gives it a few practice spins, and just sheaths it.
He looks at his sword he got from a guard, which is basically a basic thing. He's just like, sheaths it back, and no, it's whatever the guard took care of.
Takes it and unsheaths it from its scabbard and looks very unimpressed. But instead, go ahead and puts it on his knee. One of the things I'm taught to practice is to take care of one's blade. I'll be done with it shortly. And he goes to work to setting it to make it a better blade.
Forgotten's there studying the entire time. He's forgotten completely about you.
So I'm gonna go hunting. You guys trying to burn down the camp. I walk off.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
Okay, are you looking for any kind of animals in particular?
I'm just looking for any kind of foot tracks that look like animalistic so I can track
Okay,
it.
give
see
me a
what it
survival.
is. Survival. Okay, that's not bad. 15.
Okay, you're able to find some deer tracks.
Yes. Alright. Did it seem like recent or kind of
Give me a perception for smell.
perception? Nice. 19.
Okay, as you get down, you look close, and you kind of just smell it, and you can still smell the animal, so you imagine these tracks are probably fresh, and he's probably near somewhere.
I'm gonna go into stealth mode and just completely quiet down.
Okay, give me a stealth roll.
Nice. That's a 22.
Okay, you are practically invisible.
I creep up to where the deer is.
Okay, you crest a hill, and you see one just sitting down in the bottom of the valley.
And I'm gonna throw a dagger at it.
All right, roll a hit.
That's a 14.
That hits.
Yeah. That is a 8 damage.
You take it down.
Just right in the eye. Alright.
Yeah, nail it right in the head.
And now the
It
hardest
drops.
part. Taking this thing back to camp. And I take the dagger off, wipe it on like a rag I have, and put the rag back, put the knife back in a pouch. And then I'm going to try to pick up the deer and bring it back.
Okay,
Check.
what's your push carry?
Push carry is... should be right. I can...
No, that's your current weight.
No, it's okay.
Oh, there it is.
Push carry is 480 pounds.
Oh, you can easily carry this deer then.
Damn straight. Oh, that's dope.
Mine is also 420.
I can't help it.
I'm a sailor.
Okay, so I'm going to bring it back to camp.
All right, you are successfully able to do so.
So I walk back in the camp with this thing like over on my shoulders, and I just... So, I'm going to gut this thing right here. If you don't like blood or you don't like squeamish stuff like that, don't look this way. I just take out the...
It's natural.
Still sharpening the blade. Save me the liver.
Alright, I just cut her open and start skinning and getting all of the prep ready.
Okay, what are the rest of you doing during this?
I'm still watching him, studying him.
As I work on the blade, I pick it up. And it's nice and clean now, because the guards don't take care of their stuff. But the edge is only slightly sharper, because that's how short swords are. I hand it back in its scabbard, and I say, I did my best. It appears not to be for cutting, but instead for edged beating, like a sharp club. I've done all I can with it.
Yeah. The guards they be paladins. They're not always the smartest. He slides in and Skyrim's like, thank you, kindly, sir.
Also not the fastest, I say, looking up from the deer.
Plate armor will do that to you.
Yeah, he got about to near in front of the church and he ran out of breath. I left him a gold piece for his trouble, though.
That is what happens when you rely on armor.
Yeah, I like this, and I like rub my leather armor.
Say, well, I rely on this and just hand out.
I kind of take my hand in. Give you a nice little high five. Or how many fingers you have.
Forgotten looks at his leather armor, which is integrated into his clothes and everything like that, and then looks over at his and he's just like, dresses his cloak and he's just like, leather is good.
Indeed. Now, you said you wanted liver, right?
I do want the liver.
Okay, and I just plot this thing. And I don't know how you like it cooked.
Cook? You won't cook them. He looks almost offended that you would cook a liver.
Don't you get parasites and stuff from that?
Have you never hunted?
I've hunted before, yes. I took down this deer with a knife.
You don't cook the organs?
Yes.
You cook.
Can I? Do I have to roll for perception to hear them?
No, you're close enough. You
He's
can hear
insane.
this.
I interrupt them. It's just a mere difference of races.
Just, I guess here, and I just hand you a liver.
Can I make a personal suggestion? We probably should put, he points towards the fire, that out in a bit soon.
We should probably cook this first, then.
Well, hurry up and get it frying. He kind of glances back nervously at the city and he's just like,
I don't do anything special with me. I just kind of char it up and then afterwards salt it.
Okay.
Just the liver. And then cleans yourself up after because it might be a
Alright,
little
you have
bloody.
yourself some cooked deer.
Right.
I have liver.
Yeah.
Why?
Add that. I don't know what that is.
Liver
Rations, but cooked deer.
well, I'll lay it down because one of the few things I happen to have is just a bedroll. So, lay it down and the entire time when no one's looking, I'm sitting there studying the Token of Atlas and I'm just like,
Okay, so eventually all of you fall asleep that do sleep. The rest of you trance.
Who does not sleep?
Oh, you're human. Okay, then
Let's say everyone sleeps.
you all sleep then. I thought you were half
I'm
elf.
going to keep watch for a little bit. Probably it's like a
Okay.
2 hours program.
You all sleep then, and it's up to you if you want to do shifts or how you want to do that.
I don't think.
I'll take the third, it's deepest in the night, I've got good eyes.
I will take. You all need.
Okay. As you're all sleeping, forgotten,
You're good?
Mm-hmm.
you are dreaming about what just happened. And the scene keeps replaying over and over. Each time, just as traumatic as the first. And you hear this voice in the back of your head. Would you like to do something about it?
His
And-
ears give a minor twitch and he's just like, who's there?
After you say this, you have the same dream, but this time, when your father puts the sword to his throat before he can lunge, you stick your hand out, and a blast of magical energy nails your father dead in the chest, sending him stumbling backwards, and it says, "Have the power, brother would still..."
You notice a devilish smile happened about that, but when he says that, he's just like, so what? You choose to toy with me, or are you going to give me something?
I warn you, power does come at a price.
Does that mean I get to kill him and get revenge? Correct what's been wrong?
Yes, as long as you're willing to do a few things for me every now and then.
Talking.
Oh, nothing major. Not at the moment, anyways.
Fine, do as you wish. But this power does not satisfy, then it might as well be trash.
I think you will find it's quite to your liking. Okay, at this, you awaken from a dead sleep to an intense burning in the palms of your hands.
What the?
Passive perception 14. Do I notice?
You hear him go, "Ah!"
Monte! Ugh.
Over there as quick as
So
I
it's
can.
loud, right?
What's happening?
His hands are, like, you can hear almost a sizzling. You can see smoke coming from the palms of his hands.
Ah!
And it appears that some kind of symbol is being burned into each palm.
I'm burned.
This symbol
Oh, okay.
into each palm.
So this is loud enough to wake people up.
Roll a con check. A check, not save.
That's 20.
Okay, that wakes you up.
8, 9.
Wait,
You're still asleep.
Wait, they're conning to wake up?
Yes.
17.
You wake up as well.
That run knocked me out cold.
I go over and try to grab him.
It feels quite hot to the touch, and you almost feel like a static discharge that causes you to kind of recoil a bit when you touch his hands.
I look at what's happening, and
I
I
take-
just roll over.
Do I see the symbols?
You do see the symbols.
Can I roll to see if I recognize?
You can.
While she's rolling,
Oh, that
I'm gonna take.
that rolled up on my.
I have a flask. I'm gonna take some water to try and ease the burn.
Okay.
Does it work?
It just produces steam.
6 on recognizing it.
Yes, you most certainly do not recognize
What is
this
bad?
symbol.
What is bad? What is bad? I look for a cold, like a stone, because it's night, so it must be like dewy and cold, right?
Yeah, you look around, you see a fairly decent-sized rock kind of
I
protruding out of the
immediately
ground.
place my hands on it, trying to relieve
I'll
myself.
pick my stuff.
You
will
can
help.
kind of hear a...
Besides, you'd have to
I just
wake me
press
up.
into it harder.
So, okay, question. Okay, can I use one of my spells? Because I have
What are you trying to use?
question being appropriate. No, that's not it.
So, I'll wait till after he's done.
Oh, that no, not what I'm going. Well, could I use that?
Well,
I don't know. What is
sorry.
it?
What is it?
Can I cast Ice Knife just to use it as a?
I mean, you could cast Ice Knife, which would form an ice knife in your hand, and then I suppose you could hold the ice up against his palms.
So actually, that's what I'll do.
Oh dear.
That's gonna hurt.
You're gonna have to say it.
Good luck.
Okay, you cast Ice Knife. You now have a knife made of ice. Go ahead and try to put it up against his palms.
Annoyed. I might add, I'm annoyed because he's loud, and he woke me up. So
Okay.
I cast Ice Knife.
Do I recognize that?
Well, you see a knife made of ice in his hands.
I sit there and pull both palms out. What? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm gonna press this against it.
No. That is a knife. No.
I didn't say I was gonna.
No,
Ah.
stuff with this.
About this time, I guess he would be straining, just like, no. And then you see he accidentally casts Eldritch Blast. No.
Okay, because you're not trying to hit him, it doesn't.
I was gonna catch him if it did.
So it goes off in the general direction, but it's not, pointed directly at him. So
He doesn't
right
know that
near
he casts
you-
it.
no, he doesn't.
Uh,
Right near you, dirt, in just.
Okay, do I look up to
Can
that?
I?
Oh no, hold on. At this time, the sizzling has stopped, and you now have raised scars in that symbol.
Can I do a
This.
Arcana check?
You can.
So the explosion from the Eldritch Blast wake me up?
Yes.
Yes. At this, I jump up, whip in hand, unroll it.
Who? What? When? Where? How? What? Why?
What is it? Demons of the Night?
No.
That's an.
Just
Possibly.
hands.
Okay.
Burning.
I'll go. What's the situation?
That's an 11.
His palms have ignited.
You
And their symbols for
think it's a holy symbol. You can't be for sure. You've never seen this one in particular.
I'm
No,
gonna
I
roll
was doing
religion.
Arcana on the spell. My
Oh,
the symbol.
okay. On the spell. It's Eldritch Blast.
Hell.
And I tell him that. I'm like, that was an Eldritch Blast.
What is that? And why did it feel...
I'm gonna roll for religion to see what the symbols are.
Okay.
Oh, I definitely don't know.
Can I roll?
That's a 4.
You can.
You just
Dirty
woke me
20.
up. I'm in battle mode. Not check mode.
You've never seen it before. You've never heard of it before.
Does anyone have bandages?
I have a spell that might work.
So do I.
I have hemp rope.
He rummages
I-
around in his
yeah.
bag and he actually pulls out a roll of bandages. He's just like, I'm sorry to wake you guys. I didn't mean to. And he just starts rolling up his entire arms all the way up, covering his palm and everything. He's just
I
like,
think we're owed an explanation.
Normal people don't explode into flames.
think I know I woke up like this.
Yes, but do you know what you were dreaming
I have holy water.
or what?
What if I?
You know, Druid, you're nice. And you know, you follow the
That'd be
good
bad.
fairy ways of following the natural order. But I don't trust you. I'm not going to trust you. You have to earn that. So I'm not going to tell you.
Things should be.
You just see him sitting there the entire time studying his palms. And then just slowly a wicked, devilish smile crawls across his cheek.
You gonna be an issue?
Issue?
Probably.
No. Assets?
All things are issues.
Judge you for now, but just try not to do anything too bad.
When he says all things are issues, Tao retaliates with all issues are a state of mind.
You know what? I think I woke everyone up, and I am sorry. Tao, it's time for your rest. It's time for my watch.
Let's roll.
I think I'm gonna stand and watch as well. I think.
But how
Plus,
long has
I
this been?
think I can sleep out.
Okay. The rest of the night passes without incident, and you all get a long rest.
Even though I don't need
I literally need nothing to replace.
Same.
Me neither.
I don't have
Will that replace my ice
I mean,
knife?
I don't
It will.
have key yet.
Okay.
I don't have key yet because I don't have.
Oh, by the way, that should explode in your hand.
No, that's only if it touches somebody. That's why.
Oh.
That's why we try to touch. If someone takes damage from it, you would have to roll. I think is it a wisdom save? It's a wisdom save. Otherwise, it would explode.
Yeah.
Constitution.
That's what. Is it Constitution?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why if he was actually going to touch you with it, I couldn't, but I wanted to. I wanted to get in the way. That's why I didn't roll. Had it ready, but Toah has no idea what ice knife is.
That's why I asked if Forgotten knew what it was. You notice him sitting there, back straight. He looks prouder and like healthier, less disheveled than he did yesterday. He's just like, so, where are we off to?
Doesn't know.
I just go, well,
Wherever the problems lie.
that's the city.
Well,
No. They're not going back there.
Back to the city.
Why not?
we go.
we could head to the next
I need
city
to.
next to this place.
I'd say, personally, from my expertise, we'd probably want to go to a different city and supply up.
Somewhere that isn't, I look back towards the direction of the city. Not like that. Maybe not have a giant evil temple in the middle.
Might I suggest restoring the gods of order?
No.
It appears chaos runs rampant.
I'd be fine with that.
You know, I agree.
So we stop at a holy city. That sounds.
Holy city. This day and age. Fuck.
This might be a long shot. That's why I'm here.
There are
If there
a
are
few
no-
that still worship.
If there are no holy
Not me.
cities, you have to make
5 people?
the amount of effort you put in can yield amazing.
Okay, I think I get what he's doing, saying, but the
It's how
delivery
he's
wasn't
saying
quite there.
No.
Cow. Cow? What's your name again?
Toah.
Tow? Okay. I didn't quite catch your name when we first met. You were kind of flying and I was running.
That is how I move.
Indeed.
Okay, we're gonna end it there for now.